Hey guys, welcome back from break. Hope you had a really nice one. I'm excited to do this with everybody. Actually, all three grades, the third, the fourth, and the fifth grade are all doing this activity. I know all of you have done this in the past, so I appreciate that this may seem like you already know what you're talking about, but I promise that it's always very good practice. It's great practice for me too. So I am going to make two color wheels. I've taken a plate and traced it here, and taken a coaster and traced it here, and I've marked the half of my color, the center part of my color wheel, and now I'm going to divide it into sixths, which is a hard word to say. So I'm going to divide it in half and then divide each half into thirds, and that is how I'm going to have it go through the center dot. And I'm going to do the same on the big wheel, except I'm going to make it into 12ths. So again, divide this in half and then divide the halves into thirds and go through the center mark as much as you can. Fine. So here we go. That's 6. And now obviously I'm going to divide each of these thirds, or each of these sixths, into 12ths. So as you guys may know, there's a lot of math in art, and the color theory is no exception. So this is looking okay. My center's a little bit messy. If it's easier for you, you can just take from the center wheel and go out. But what I'm going to do is, after putting away my ruler and my pencil, I have off screen, if you can see, I have 2 sets of water, and one is for cleaning my brush and one is for getting water onto my brush. And then if you would like, I would also recommend getting maybe a paper towel, so it's easier to blot your brush. But I am going to, my yellow is a little bit dirty, so I'm going to clean my yellow, make sure all my paints start off really nicely. We are only going to be using the red, yellow, and blue out of our watercolor set today. I challenge you to not use the orange and the green, because you could do that. It just wouldn't be nearly as much fun. So I am going to paint my yellow square for my primary color on both wheels. And you will notice that I'm going to do it in a similar location. Okay, so I'm going to make it my yellow over here as well. And after I do one primary color, I'm going to wash my brush. Actually, I'm going to set down my brush, and I'm going to pick up my pencil. I'm going to mark Y for yellow and Y for yellow. And then, to keep you straight, to keep everything in order, I'm going to go over here on this side. I'm going to make it red, and I'm going to make this blue. And so what I've done is I've left these blank. So I'm filling in my primary colors first. So I have yellow here, and I'm going to count not 1 like I did over here. There's 12 here. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to put my red right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put my blue here. So sorry, my counting's a little funny because I was counting the wedges and not. There are 3 spots in between each of your primary colors. And if it makes life a little bit easier, you can write it all the way out, so that way you can keep track better. And yellow doesn't fit. So what do red and yellow make? they make orange. So you can write that in now. So then that way when you go to paint, you can keep everything in between, everything straight. This is gonna get a little bit dicey because you don't want that to be yellow. All right, okay. So red and yellow are orange. So there's gonna be 2 blank spaces here in between this. So do yourself a favor and just write the color. Red and blue, 2 blank spaces in between. There's purple. Blue and yellow, 2 spaces in between, that's green. And then you can do blue-green, you can just do B-G, blue-purple, blue-B, purple-red, B-red, red-orange, R-O, orange-yellow, O-Y, oi, green-yellow, yellow-green. So now I have a better sense. So I'm going to, it'll be easier for me to remember what colors I'm going to draw. And I suggest you just do one color first to make it a little bit easier, make sense of everything, so you have a better idea of how it all lines up. So now we're going to do our red. And our red looks pretty, it's very much of a blue red, so I think our orange might be a hard color to make with our watercolor set. If you guys have watched the videos online, some people have explained that watercolors are a little bit of a harder medium because our colors, there can be blue reds and there can be orange reds. But I'm filling out my red now, and then I'll fill out my blue, and then the fun will start with mixing. And I can double check and make sure I'm all set. I have a space in between here for my 6-color wheel, and I have 3 spaces in between here. And the same will occur with blue. And I know you can't see this, but I've cleaned my brush with the dirty water, and now I've gotten my brush wet with nice clean water from the 2nd cup. And now I'm going to do that with my blue. Okay, so my blue's filled out. I have 1 spot each over here. I have 3 spots over here. And now I'm going to work on my secondary colors. So you do have orange right here. We are going to try to mix it and create our own orange on our palette. They have all of this space on your other side of your watercolor set just for this express reason, so we can mix and make our own orange. I'd say that's a pretty fantastic orange. I like that a lot. All right, I'm going to fill out my orange here, and I'm going to fill out my orange here. And then I'll do the same for green and for purple. All right, so we started with our primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. We've made our secondary colors, purple, orange, and green, and now we have, this looks like a great beach ball to me. So now what we're going to do is, this is complete, is we are going to take these colors, and hopefully you have them on your palette, and for the orange, you're going to add a little bit more red to your orange, and you're going to make a red orange. And it's definitely different between, I'm going to add a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow, excuse me. And it's definitely in between those 2 colors. So this is a red orange, and we're going to do that going around. So use the secondary color and combine it with more of that primary color that's touching. So now with this, I'm going to take my orange. This has turned into a little bit more of a red orange, so I'm going to add more yellow just to get it back to regular orange. And then I'm going to add a little bit more yellow, so then it becomes in between those 2 colors. And we'll work our way around the color wheel to do that. So I'm going to add more of my yellow to get back to my regular orange. And then I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to get into, I think I might need just a little bit more yellow to get that in between color. There we go. I think that's more distinct. I say that, but I think I still want a little bit more yellow. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I fill in this slice of the color wheel. So this is our activity for today. I would love if you could, if you have time, I know you guys are busy, but if you have time and have any interest, if you could paint a watercolor involving, if you wanted to involve a rainbow. Last year, our watercolor wheels were used as umbrellas, if you wanted to do something like that. And to actually make a watercolor painting using as many colors as possible. That would be your extra assignment if you were looking for something fun to do. But enjoy it, and I can't wait to see what you've done.